Hi, everybody, and welcome to Breakfast with John Kanary. In this past weekend, I was working in seminars throughout the West Coast, predominantly in Alberta. And at the end of those seminars, I had the great opportunity to spend time with my dear friend, Brian Menace, and of course, a few days before that, with my friend Nathan Giesbrecht. And these are people that are always loaded with ideas. They never stop coming up with good ideas that you can share with people. And one of those ideas went something like this. An individual would come up to me in the room and he asked me, he said, John, can you give me one single idea on how I can actually take my results and my life to another level? Something as simple as can be that I really wouldn't have to think that hard about. And I gave him a couple of good ideas. But afterwards, I didn't feel I had given him something that matched his question. I did eventually. But I started talking to Brian about this, and we come up with this idea. You see, if we look at that, everything that is created begins with an idea. That you could say, when you look at those buildings in a downtown city, say like Toronto, they're monuments to man's imagination. I see a thing like my cell phone there, the iPhone, and the same thing. It's a monument to man's imagination. And we are constantly creating ideas through something called our mind. Now, I want you to take a look at the way that I shared the idea with him. See, if you look at here, what you're seeing here right at the top is these little clouds here. Just refer to them as thoughts, THOUGHT, thoughts. And what you and I can do is on a conscious level, and this is where we refer to our conscious mind, where we can actually pull thoughts into our conscious mind and we can build what is called an idea. That could be like if you're in sales, you want to build a better prospecting idea. You want to build a goal that's going to be exciting, motivating, etc. But as we take that idea, understand this, that idea could be a good idea, a plus, or we can impregnate that with a negative idea. We can do that. I know that when I say to an individual, here's a good idea on prospecting, they say to me, well, that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. They actually impregnate that idea with a negative concept, or we can impregnate it with a positive concept. Well, once we have that idea, we have to understand something. We have to take the second breakthrough idea, which is simply that we've got to act on that idea. If we don't act on the idea, we don't give it any life, we don't give it any momentum. See, I refer to the idea as focused thought. Think about this on a conscious level. The idea that begins everything in your life is called focused thought. But understand this. How do I get that idea to that higher side of my personality, which is my subconscious mind? See, if I can take that idea and impregnate it into my subconscious mind, I'm going to make that idea habitual. I'm going to make it a habit-knit part of my life. Now, please understand this. I can take an idea and I can act on that idea over and over and over again until that idea becomes lodged into what is called my subconscious mind. I can do that. If I wanted to create a good prospecting habit, I can go out and call on that idea and work on that idea every single day. See, remember, we're blessed with two powers. One of those powers is consciously the ability to think, and then there's the ability to act. And don't forget that if we take those two ideas and we consistently work on them, we're going to impress that idea into the subconscious mind over and over and over again until that idea becomes habit. Someone one time said this, I believe his name was Albert Ian Gray. He said, successful people have formed the habit of doing things that failures really don't like to do. So understand it begins with something called your attitude, where my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions that are expressed to the physical world, to this outside world, they're the only things that can return to visit upon me. So let's think now. I can think of a new idea. I can build that idea on the screen of my conscious mind. I can just impress that idea with a feeling, with emotion, with motivation. And then I can go ahead and I can act on that idea. So the idea that I develop through my thoughts, the idea that I impress in my subconscious mind, the idea that I express in the physical world, that becomes what is called a habit-knit part of my life. And you know, they tell us this now, the experts, that it only takes 21 to 30 days. I'm not sure which one of those is the most accurate. I would expect that you would do it every day for 30 days to make such a difference. I know my friend one time said this, that he called it the razor's edge, Mr. Proctor. And this is one of the things he said. He said, there's a small difference in getting result and not getting result. And that small difference, the razor's edge activity, it's as fine as a razor's edge, is the idea that we actually impress into the subconscious mind. That idea will eventually, after 30 days of working with, will become a habit-knit part of my life. So I'll leave you with this thought. The thoughts that I think about are what I focus on, become my reality. Whether you express the idea or not, that's your reality, is the idea you see in your mind. When I act on that idea consistently over and over again, that idea will start to take shape as a habit in my life. And very soon, you're going to see a change. You're going to see a change in your goal-achieving activities. In your goal-achieving activities, form the habit that you need to form on a mental, emotional, and physical level, and you'll see yourself moving closer and closer and closer to your goal-achieving activities, whatever they might be. So this is John Kanary, and I'll see you in our very next message. Thank you.